Good evening. This is the regular meeting of the Architectural Board Review. What is it, February 4th?
Yep, my birthday.
Yep.
Your birthday. Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Okay. We're not going to sing. And it's going to be an abbreviated meeting. We've got an abbreviated committee tonight, but we do have a quorum, so let's just get going. Michael, you want to do the roll call to make it official?
Sure. Member Callahan,
Here.
Member Dahlman,
Here?
Member Dittmer,
Here.
and Chair Hunter,
Here.
and members Waymeyer, Kerouac, and Deegan are absent. So we have a quorum.
Okay, next on the agenda is the minutes of December 3rd, 2019, last year. Any comments?
January 7th minutes.
Hmm?
It's January 7th minutes.
Oh, well, why don't we do those over again? Okay, yeah. January 7th minutes, I'm sorry.
I move approval of the minutes.
I second.
All right, any questions? Nope, all right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. We have nobody in the audience tonight, so we won't go through that non-agenda item. So the first, middle, and last applicant we have is not here because of illness, but we are going to go ahead and look at this application anyway. And this is a consideration of a sign permit for Verizon at 235 South Waukegan Road. And that is in the shopping center down there. Basically, they're changing their logo, corporate logo, it looks like. So, no presentation. We've got all the information we need right here, I think. Anybody have any comments on it? Neil?
Does it make sense if we go through this and approve the design that we could then turn it over to staff and they could just approve it administratively as long as our motion is followed?
As long as, yeah, we
Yeah,
didn't,
yeah,
he
that's
doesn't
fine.
have to be here.
Right,
Okay.
yeah,
It's just,
Okay.
yeah.
yep, it does.
Well, I have two comments. One is looking at the photograph that we have of the current sign that was installed many years ago. There are three problems with the way that sign was installed. One is that it was supposed to be centered vertically between the top of the brick arch and the wood frame above, but instead it was mounted tight to the top of the wood frame, which was wrong. And the second thing they did is, when they took out the sign that was there previously, instead of filling the joints with grout, they colored grout to match the brick, they just put gray caulk in, and it has looked awful ever since they did that. So as far as the new sign is concerned, I think the sign itself is just fine, but I would request that the installer be directed to remove the caulk that was put there and install the proper grout, and to clean up the black dirt that's coming off of the word wireless. I think those are the two main things that I would request that we accomplish. I think
Yep.
that's it.
Yeah, I agree with Neil. I didn't really think about the caulking situation of whatever happened last time. They didn't do it correctly. So I would say that it'd be approved with that consideration in mind.
Sheree?
I also agree on both counts.
Okay. And there's two sides of this, this unit, so the other side is getting the same treatment, and I assume the same comments will probably,
On the other side, they did mount it they did center it vertically, which was fine, but they also put caulk in all the holes from the previous sign there
Yeah.
also. So it's the same situation.
Okay.
And frankly, my personal opinion is that I think the new sign's gonna look nicer than the old sign.
Yeah.
I'm
think it
just,
reads a lot
I didn't
better.
notice this before, but the new sign on the 176 side is considerably larger dimension-wise. 1'9".
It's within what's allowed.
It is within,
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
okay, all right, yeah. All right, then, never mind. Okay, so everybody agrees, so with the exception that Neil just made? Let's do a roll call.
Well, first someone should make a motion and someone
We
should
didn't do that.
second it.
I
Do you-
move, I move what I said.
Okay,
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Second then.
I second it.
okay,
Now roll call.
okay. Give me a second. Okay, Member Dittmer,
Aye.
Member
Yes.
Callahan,
Aye.
Member Dahlman,
Aye.
and Chair Hunter.
All right,
Okay, motion passes. Well, I just wanted to mention a couple things under staff report. I think we're probably likely to have Jaguar's application for a new building on 41 for the next meeting in March. It looks like we might be able to make, I know Neil had commented on our PSB dumpster enclosure about, you know, how it might be nicer to have a wood fence rather than trying to rework the old grid and all that back there, and it looks like we may be able to make that work with the budget, so we had previously approved kind of a reworking of that old grid wall and repainting it, but I may be bringing that back as a fence for approval instead next time. And then, lastly, just one thing I wanted to see if anyone had any input on is on our downtown streetscape. We've got these bricks on block 2 and 3 that kind of line the back of the curb here that are, they're really only half thickness bricks, not full bricks, and they're,
really?
yeah, in some places they're loose and you can pull one out and see it's just like 1.5 inches thick or something, not a full brick. We're thinking of replacing those this summer with something that looks the same, but it's the real full depth brick. But we're also kind of thinking to the future about, you know, what our streetscape plan should be someday, you know, perhaps if the block redevelops or for whatever reason we put the money into redoing it completely. And just looking for input on either one, see if anyone has any thoughts. You know, I was thinking that some of these accent materials like the bluestone and the brick have really been kind of problematic as far as their durability down there. And I was kind of thinking that perhaps the best solution is to use regular concrete, but lay out the grid, the score lines in a very thoughtful pattern with some, you know, subtle elegance to it, and make that the future streetscape material whenever we redo the entire sidewalk.
What we, if, Neil will know this, but when we did the entire master plan of everything downtown,
Right.
and we did block 3 as part of that, you know, we used that bluestone, because everybody was doing brick.
Right.
And we just thought, you know what, let's do something else. And the landscape architect came up with this stone. We spent, good grief, sitting outside in the round patio looking at different stones. And then it was a special concrete mix.
Right,
And of course, when something got cracked, they didn't use that mix anymore.
right.
You know, it's good intentions went sideways. And the bluestone has not held up, right? Especially
The
when you-
salt, yeah.
The salt and
Right.
the machinery that goes over to.
Right.
So anyway, I still think everybody's got brick, except those people that have got bomonite, which is really bad. But you know, if you go look at the entry to Target, which somehow gets all full of tar spots and things, but they have done, you know, a lot of places have done that. You know, they do different score lines. They saw cut them. Saw cut. They're
Yeah, they're not.
not a joint with caulk in it that gets gummed up. You know.
Right, right.
And maybe it's a colored concrete. I think they've done different concretes up there where you kind of walk into the front door.
Yeah.
That maybe not an all bad idea.
Uh-huh.
It's probably not any cheaper because the labor in doing the saw cuts and doing them right and somebody has to really draw this thing up, so that it's not just haphazard joint placement. You know, There's gotta be a
right.
pattern to it.
Right,
I very much like the idea of doing, like we did back then, of doing something different than
Yeah.
just brick.
right,
There are problems with the bricks too that are not here, but like in Highland Park, where my office is, they made the whole sidewalk brick.
Yeah.
right.
And when it's this kind of weather and they get icy, oh man,
Yeah.
you're gonna, I bet about 3 or 4 people in the last 2 weeks that have come into my office have slipped and fallen on the brick.
Oh, wow.
You can't get the ice off of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
okay.
can't, yeah.
But I like the idea of doing something that's different than brick, and the bluestone didn't hold up, but I don't know that I have any idea what would work. Do you have any
Right.
thoughts, Tim?
If it's something that you really need to have hold up, you could have granite cobbles, which I'm sure are very expensive,
Yeah.
but like a
Well,
split
yeah,
granite,
you'd have to have the flame granite or something that's,
Yeah.
that's, you know, that's rough.
right? And you wouldn't want to use that really to walk on.
Yeah.
Right.
It'd be more of an accent material.
But,
Right,
you know, it's
because
this
you have the-
wide, it's right,
Yeah.
if you kept the same pattern that's going, existing where the brick is,
Mm-hmm,
you know, it is, it's about this wide, isn't it?
yeah,
It's
right,
the
right.
First
and
thing
at
you
the back
step
of the
on when
curb.
you
Right,
get onto the
when you get out of the
sidewalk
car,
in the car.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I think not really, I wouldn't do a patterned concrete, but a colored concrete.
Uh-huh,
I would
Well,
do that with,
A pattern though, if you've got, I don't
but I
know,
mean like a stamped pattern.
no,
but-
no, that's the Bowmanite
Yeah.
stuff, no, I'm thinking, again, like what they did at Target.
Yeah,
they've
saw
got
cut.
The saw cuts, and
joints.
they're nice and crisp,
Mhm.
and there's a logic to where they come off of mullions and things in the
Yeah.
door. You know,
I like the idea, I just wonder how much more expensive it would be, but the idea of doing granite. The careful thing is to make sure it's a rough granite, because remember, at the State of Illinois building, when they first built it, they put in smooth granite.
yeah,
And then they had to roughen it up because people were killing
Yeah.
themselves.
all it has to be is wet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It have to be full,
But
yeah.
it's not like we're doing the whole sidewalk, you're just talking about the,
Well, I
the
would
strip
think
along
that
the
you're
edge,
gonna
aren't you?
have to do the sidewalk itself.
Right.
You're gonna
I
do the
mean-
sidewalk, and, you know,
Make it a cohesive design.
yeah,
Mhm.
and I think
right.
you would have to, probably replace the curbs while you're at it. I don't know what kind of shape they're in.
Right, well, for this summer, they were thinking of just a couple spot replacements where there's a couple bad spots, but not replacing much. But someday in the future, there's the potential to rework the whole thing in a new streetscape someday.
I could probably warm up to the concrete, what do you think?
Concrete done in a thoughtful manner would be good, and if it could be permeable concrete, that would help with runoff. I'd have to check in to see if there's any advantages or disadvantages to permeable,
Okay.
and also integrated color
Yeah.
as part of the
That's
design.
integrated color,
Right,
and
right.
that's what they have down there.
Yeah.
You know, that's what, wherever they've done it, they've done it.
the only problem I can think of with colored concrete is that at some point down the road, let's say 5 or 10 years down the road, you have something that causes a damage and you gotta replace it. Matching the color is really hard.
Yeah, especially because it fades over time. If you put the
Yeah.
same mix, it's gonna
Yeah.
look obvious, yes.
Well, I mean, the only ones I've ever, I mean, if you go walk around Rome or someplace in Italy and their cobbles are
Yeah,
replaced, but their cobbles are this deep, you know, they're on end.
yeah.
Right. Well, the other thing is, I mean,
They last 1,000 years.
cobbles are okay as an accent, but you don't want them for the main walkway
No,
for
you
ADA.
don't, unless
know,
you're
you don't
Italian
wanna-
and you learn how to
Right.
do it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, right.
I watched them replace a sewer line, and it's like, they lift these things up, you put them in a pile, and they get down there and do their thing,
Yeah, oh, and put
and
them
you
all
never
back.
know they were there.
Yeah, wow,
There's no patch, there's no nothing.
yeah, that's impressive.
Anyway, so that's something you're looking into.
Okay.
That's not a bad idea. It's, that thing has always looked bad, and the joints have been caulked
Mm-hmm,
instead of mortared or just loose.
right,
Over the years, it's just That was there when I moved here, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, well, thanks, that's good feedback.
Anything else?
No, I don't have anything else.
Is it a record?
I can get home in time to watch the State of the Union.
If that's what you want to do with your
You
evening.
wanna do with your evening?
Yeah.
No, but my wife wants to watch it, so I have no choice. And we want to find out what happened in Iowa.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's funny that just as I was leaving the house, they're like 63% of the precincts are, and they're calling it for Buttigieg is 1, and Sanders is 2, Warren is 3, and Biden is 4, and Klobuchar is 5, and Biden is down to 16, and,
Yeah.
is up at 20-something.
We should probably make a motion to adjourn and turn the microphones off if we're gonna talk about other
That's
things.
right.
Will we adjourn?
Yeah, let's adjourn. Okay, all in favor of adjourning?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay,
Okay, we're done.
okay.
Sorry about